All right, chapter 169. This one is called To the Mob. And it occurs to me now that we never once found out what Neo Edo meant in the previous chapter. So I'm not going to think too much about what To the Mob means. But Uta finally fighting Yomo. Meanwhile, everybody else fighting the Giga Owl. Uta got weird looking Kagune here. Uda's being reckless. What you're doing is senseless. And Donato also revealing Kagune. He had something like this in the fight against Ure, I'm sure, but like, I don't know, this is creepy. This is like end of Evangelion stuff. The crosses spewing out of his body. Now the question is, does he control his Kagune to make it look like that because he thinks it's cool because he's like a priest? Or did he decide, oh, I'm going to be a creepy priest that takes in children into an orphanage and like eats them? And my Kagune looks like a cross, so it's a perfect fit. What was the chicken and the egg here? Okay. So yeah, this is like one of the most set up fights in the whole series, really, because Amon's been off and on major character since like chapter 1 or close to it. And we learned about his backstory pretty early on. We see him visiting him in Cloaca. That's not what it's called. What is it called? Not Cloaca. The prison. And this whole time you're like, this motherfucker's better get his ass beat. And now it's finally here. Okay. The owl's power is fading. So Donato is the one that's like in charge of the owl. I guess. And it's like kind of a psychic connection or something, I guess, because him getting impaled like a little bitch here is making the owl weaken. Okay. Much more seasoned than he is. You think it's senseless. You'll understand soon. Donato launching a super creepy counterattack. Again, this is what I'm talking about. These little moments where it's like the pace of the fight doesn't really change or stop, but they still find this opportunity to like zoom in on the creepiness and make you viscerally experience it in a way that kind of like goes above and beyond like the overall tension and momentum of the rest of the fight. Still alive. Whoa. Okay, so suddenly we cut to Furuta, who's way down in this tunnel and freaking out that Kaneki is still alive. You still live to avenge your sister. What the? This is... feels like this page is from later. But no, this is the page I'm supposed to be looking at. What the heck? Okay. So we cut from Donato versus Amon for a split second. I don't know what the fuck Donato's doing, by the way. The man's got many heads. To Furuta being confronted by Kaneki way down in the tunnels. Back to this fight of Uta versus Yomo. Okay. Mr. Yoshimura. Name recalled. I swear to God I was going to guess that, or something very close to it, but it felt like more embarrassing to guess and be wrong than to just describe the character. Fighting for others, protecting your niece and nephew, fighting Hope and Kaneki. But it's not so clear cut for me. These eyes have seen a lot. These ears have heard a lot. I'm constantly reminded that the world loves humans, not us ghouls. The cold void will always be there. That's why we keep hurting each other, keep bleeding, because we can't feel warmth. Tragic. I like this. Because it's like... It's not enough just to be like, oh yeah, Udo was a bad guy too. Let's kill him. He was, a support for so many of our protagonists. He was on the right side of history, so to speak, so many times up until this point. And yeah, he did a lot of shady shit too, sure, don't get me wrong. I mean, he's always clowning. When he's clowning, like ICP. But, like, I did want to understand him at the end here. Like, I'm glad we have this moment of understanding. While also recognizing that he only speaks for himself. And that's the whole deal with these clown motherfuckers. He's not talking about this is the ideological movement that led all clowns to do this. He's speaking very personally. And I think the series really excels at when characters, when it comes time to zoom in on a personal ideology like that, it's very emotional. It's very from lived experience, very close to the heart. And this, it hurts. I think they get across this pain where it's like, yeah, you started fighting for a cause, but don't forget we're always fighting. We don't know warmth. We don't understand what it's like to be loved like humans are. We have to keep hurting each other. We have to keep bleeding. And that's what led him to this like kind of nihilism, I guess, is like that realization that even if you're fighting for a just cause or something, you're still fighting. We can't feel warmth. That's good. That's chilling. Renji, I've dreamed of this day for so long. Damn. Yomo. It's not fun for me. Nothing about this is fun. You're a friend. Okay, and here we see Uta's Kaguneification. Again, like I was saying last chapter, we never really knew. We never really knew how strong this motherfucker was, right? And I think it's remarkable that the character can be so present in a battle series and yet still have that element like just outside of what we know. Okay. I think that's the end of this one. The keyboard controls aren't working. Nothing's working. I'm going to hit refresh. Yeah, that's the end of this chapter anyways. Okay. All right. We got through that one at a decent pace. Lots of fighting, not as much to say. We're going to finish the volume. I'm committed. I'm committed. I'm very gassy. I hope it's not showing up too much in the recordings. But we only have, I think, 4 or 5 more chapters, so we can do it. We can do it. Okay, see you on the next one. See you on 170.